Here's what happened across the U.S. in the past hour, all in 60 seconds. A federal judge ordered the Trump administration to unfreeze Gateway Tunnel funding, allowing Hudson River project work to resume. Project leaders said delays had already raised costs and threatened regional rail reliability. Black Trump allies publicly condemned a racist video shared from Trump's account that depicted Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. Trump said he did not view the full clip before posting, then declined to apologize. President Volodymyr Zelensky said the U.S. set a June deadline for Ukraine and Russia to reach a deal to end the war. He said talks should resume next week as Russian strikes keep damaging energy infrastructure. The White House is planning the first Washington meeting of Trump's new Board of Peace on February 19th, according to officials. Organizers say it will focus on Gaza governance and reconstruction funding, though allies remain divided. The administration launched TrumpRx, a site directing patients to manufacturer discount programs for prescription drugs. Trump called it a major price cut initiative, while Democrats and experts said real savings will depend on eligibility and coverage. Democrats are warning that mandatory body cameras for ICE agents could become a mass surveillance tool without strict data limits. Negotiators are now pushing for tighter rules on storage, access, and facial recognition use. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi endorsed Jack Schlossberg in New York's open house race, giving JFK's grandson a major boost in a crowded Democratic primary. The endorsement elevates his national profile ahead of a volatile nomination fight. Here's what happened across the U.S. in the past hour, all in 60 seconds. Iran said it would target U.S. military bases across the region if Washington attacks Iranian territory. The warning came as nuclear tensions rose and both sides traded public threats ahead of further diplomacy. An AP investigation said newly surfaced Epstein-related records are shaking political careers in Europe, including scrutiny around UK Ambassador Peter Mandelson. Officials denied wrongdoing, but opposition parties are demanding deeper parliamentary inquiries. Ukrainian officials said Russia launched more than 440 drones and missiles overnight in one of the war's largest barrages. President Volodymyr Zelensky said critical infrastructure was hit as Kyiv renewed calls for more air defenses. Federal prosecutors charged a man with threatening to kill Vice President J.D. Vance and his family, according to court records. The suspect was arrested after investigators traced posts and communications they say included explicit threats. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu scheduled an urgent White House meeting with President Trump as U.S.-Iran nuclear talks intensify. Israeli officials say they want tighter limits, while U.S. negotiators pursue a diplomatic track. Reuters found Trump has claimed inflation is beaten nearly 20 times in recent economic speeches, despite continued price pressure. Analysts said some indicators improved, but households still report elevated costs for essentials. The Fifth Circuit upheld the Trump administration's mandatory immigration detention policy, while broader challenges continue in lower courts. The ruling allows expanded detention to proceed across much of the South as appeals move. Here's what happened across the U.S. in the past hour, all in 60 seconds. Los Angeles Council member Nithya Raman announced a mayoral run, setting up a challenge to incumbent Karen Bass. Housing, homelessness, and public safety are expected to dominate the race. A New York Times analysis says Trump's call to nationalize elections would face major constitutional limits because states administer voting. Any federal takeover effort would likely trigger immediate court challenges before the midterms. President Volodymyr Zelensky said the U.S. set a June target for Ukraine and Russia to reach a deal to end the war. He said new talks are expected soon as fighting continues. Ukrainian officials said Russia launched more than 440 drones and missiles overnight in a major new barrage. Kyiv reported strikes on infrastructure and said air defenses intercepted many of the incoming weapons. A Reuters review found Trump has repeatedly claimed inflation is beaten in recent speeches, while many household prices remain elevated. Strategists warn that message gap could become a midterm risk if costs stay high. Major automakers, including GM, Toyota, and Volkswagen, bought Super Bowl ad time to promote new vehicle lineups and technology. The spots are part of a high-stakes push as EV and hybrid competition intensifies. Black Trump allies publicly condemned a racist video posted from Trump's account that depicted Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. The White House said a staffer posted it in error, and Trump declined to apologize. Democrats are pushing to add strict guardrails to ICE body camera rules. Warning footage systems could become a broader surveillance tool. Negotiators are focusing on limits for retention, sharing, and facial recognition use. New Epstein file fallout is reverberating in Europe, with renewed scrutiny of senior political figures, including former Ambassador Peter Mandelson. Authorities in the UK and elsewhere are facing calls for deeper investigation.